say all my life I've been mistaken for my mother. So this afternoon when we were out on the field hockey field and they announced the class of 29, Agnes Rodgers Bixler, and I walked across and they started announcing what I had done. And then someone afterwards came up to me and said, "We're trying to figure out how old you are." I said, "Well, maybe 106. Pretty good." I think Mom grew up in an era when women actually did things, but they didn't talk about them a lot. So when we were kids, we had heard that she was on a U.S. team or something, so we said, "Mom, were you in the Olympics?" And she said, "No." So, you know, it was kind of mysterious because that's all we knew about, something in the Olympics. Then I started field hockey in high school. And I was on some sub-varsity team, and she came to the games, and she didn't really say much. So the next year I said, "Mom, come on out in the backyard and play hockey with me." And she said, "Sure." So we were hitting the ball around, and she told me how bad we actually were the year before. And I said, "Well, Mom, why didn't you help me?" And she said, "I don't believe in pushing my kids." So, actually, I don't know what she would say if she were here today, but I know she would agree that it's because Smith College has had the wisdom to think that sports and competition are great for women, and they've had this view for about 130 years, not just the last 40 years that the government has sort of forced onto the people who had not seen the light. And it's true that without my mom, I wouldn't be the athlete that I am. I'm sure of that. So thanks a lot, Mom. And Elizabeth here would like to say something.
Well, what I'd like to say is I'm sure, first of all, that this audience, more than any other I can think of, will appreciate how, for me to describe what it's like to be the daughter of Agnes Rodgers Bixler and the little sister of Agnes Bixler Kurtz would be very difficult. Let's just say that I finally figured out it would be wise for me to explore a different career from the one in which they so excelled. But having said that, I want to say that all the good lessons that we learn in athletics, to practice, to work hard, to be disciplined, and above all, to be a team player, have served all of us really well. I'm so grateful to my mother for making sure that at all times during our growing up years, we had a ball in one hand and a stick or a racket of some sort in the other. And of course, I'm so proud of her for her athletic feats and for being so ahead of her time, a real pioneer and a real team player. Some of you may have heard the story that shortly after she married our dad, she went off with her U.S. field hockey teammates to Australia for 6 weeks for international competition. Now, I know this is about my mom and not my sister, but I consider my sister Aggie to be one of my mother's best accomplishments. So I want to say that I'm grateful to Aggie for teaching those lessons I mentioned to tens of thousands of young women, or is it hundreds of thousands by now. But having lived my entire adult life in New York, I'm particularly proud that one of those women is doing a fabulous job as my United States Senator, Kirsten Gillibrand. And she was asked by the New York Times in 2012 what qualified her for her job. She said, in effect, Aggie, who, in the words of the senator, said, quote, "She understood the importance of athletics in developing women." So thanks, Ag, and thanks to our mom from us New Yorkers. And I'm really sorry our mom couldn't be here because she really would have had a good time.